You're the president of a private educational institution. Why are you collaborating with a provincial dental association these days?
It's a great question, John. Collaborations, if you take a look at the last couple of years and what's gone on with the employment market right across Canada, every organization, every company from coast to coast, the one thing they're lacking is staffing. So rather than schools just try to create this interest, why not go to industry, talk to industry, understand what their needs are, and then bring that interest into our recruitment process. So we've been very effective over the last couple of years of working with organizations like provincial bodies, frontline healthcare workers, or military, and some of the cyber education that we've been doing. But we've been hearing from dental associations, like I said, coast to coast, that are experiencing the same shortage. So again, this just makes good sense to us to form these partnerships. So that's why we're doing it. We need to understand clearly what they want so we can line up our students with those opportunities.
Now, you have a base in Nova Scotia, and you are partnering or collaborating with the Nova Scotia Dental Association. What are the highlights of the nature of the collaboration between you and the NSDA?
Again, great question again, John. We have school systems actually in several provinces. But when you take a look at what we've done over the last year or so with our dental program out of Nova Scotia, we had what I would consider to be a traditional style course. Student would come into the college 5 days a week. They would study 5 or 6 hours a day. And what we were finding is that's great for some of the major centers. So in Nova Scotia, it would be like Halifax or Sydney, but it wasn't really reaching out to those rural communities. So we went back to the drawing board with our content and our regulatory bodies, and we built out a model that we think helps address not just the shortages in the bigger cities, but also reaches out there because it doesn't rely upon that traditional structure. So we built what we call our 3+2 dental assistant program. It's designed in a way that a student will participate in online studies for 3 days per week. 2 days per week, they're actually in the dental office, gaining that real world experience and exposure to what the job is all about and what the team that they're going to be working with is all about. That familiarization just helps in the onboarding down the road when that person transitions from school to becoming a dental assistant. So the 3+2 model, again, something that we built out in Nova Scotia, has now been rolling for about a year. We're very excited. Now, prior to that, we did deliver the traditional dental program for many, many years. So it wasn't like it was new curriculum, but the delivery modality was unique to us. And again, we think this is going to help with that rural interest and need that's out there. Now, there is a requirement both in Nova Scotia and soon to be Ontario where it's fine someone's doing this online and they're doing it in the dental office, but they also have to come into our lab. So there will be a requirement for a few weeks throughout the program that the student will have to be on site at one of our campus labs so we can validate that that indeed is the person that's been going through the training and they're able to demonstrate the skills that they've acquired through the program.
Right. Now, just a cavalcade of questions just come into my mind. What's your capacity for training people? And what's the exact nature of what Nova Scotia Dental Association and you are doing together? And who pays for this, the education? And is there any government subvention?
Wow, a bunch of questions. Let me try and address as many of them as I can there, John. So first and foremost, the beautiful thing about this 3+2 model is it's scalable. What we need to do is make our labs available because online delivery, we currently have a very vibrant online training center right across Canada. We train thousands of students coast to coast in a variety of programs. So I can take that as large as I want to take it for this particular program. The only thing that needs to be calculated through and scheduled out is the use of the lab. But the beautiful thing, and this is really why it's so scalable, is if the interest and the desire is there, then all that I'm required to do is build up a bigger lab. So as I see that tsunami of interest coming in, then it's just simply a matter of building the lab beyond what I currently have. Right now, I know that, for example, in Ontario, we'll use that as our example, I can take about 18 students per cohort or per intake. And I can do throughout the year, probably 10 of those programs. So if you take a look at 18 coming in, 10 particular intakes, I can train about 180 students out of our one lab in Ottawa. But if all of a sudden there was an interest and we needed to train 300 or 500 or 800, then it's simply building out my labs to accommodate for that on-site assessment that needs to take place.
Right.
So the scalability is there. Now, you asked some questions about the affordability and how does somebody do this? So the tuition in the traditional route for most students is they are either paying through a funded resource within the province or nationally that they may have access to. But we're also promoting out of Nova Scotia a scholarshiping model. Now, I will let you know that we're rolling this out very carefully. We're working closely with dental offices and helping them because not all dental offices are in the same position. Some are certainly capable of sponsoring students to go to school, and others really don't have the means to do it, but they are capable of offering their dental office for the 2 days, which is a critical piece to our 3+2 model. So I would really, the message I want to get out is regardless if you feel as a dental office you can support someone or you can't support someone, reach out to the college. And if you're in Eastern Canada, that college is CBBC Career College. And if you're in Ontario, it's Willis College. And if you're in any other part of the country, I would say funnel the calls in through our Willis campus. So whether that's an online inquiry or a phone call, and then we will set you up with the best program. Because there's also different provincial regulatory requirements that need to be taken into account when you're building out a program. Again, this is something that we've done for many years. We're not new to this. And even through our online, we've been delivering online training for a number of years, but the dental online, we've only been doing about a year.
Right.
So that's why we started it slow. But in Nova Scotia, for example, students that go through the program have to write an accreditation examination at the end. So that requires us to build a little different program for the Nova Scotia market, as opposed to what we may need, let's say, for the Ontario market. When an inquiry comes into the school, the first thing we try to establish is where is the provincial dental office calling from? Like, what's their area and what is the accrediting requirements of that particular area? Then we can redirect that individual to the most appropriate program that aligns with their provincial accrediting body.
Righty-ho, righty-ho. So it looks like this program is scalable and could be done in other provinces across the country. Would you have any message for leadership in dental associations across Canada about the potential for collaboration?
So certainly the message that we want to get out, because we've talked with a number of dental offices, both in Ontario already and certainly in Eastern Canada. The challenges that you have right now with staffing and the shortages that you're experiencing with dental assistants is not one that you have to handle by yourself. But you do need to initiate that call of interest to reach out to the college and say, okay, we've got a challenge. we're in remote area ABC, wherever that happens to be, and I need dental assistance. As soon as we start working with you, whether that's finding people that are in, let's say, the Ottawa area or the Halifax area, or maybe we have to run specialized marketing up in the area that you are in. So let's pick an area of Northern Ontario. Henry, we're in Thunder Bay. You don't have a school in Thunder Bay, but we can certainly launch a digital campaign for marketing and advertising in Thunder Bay and find people that are interested. But we need to know that we've got a dental office there that wants to be a partner, that wants to be part of this solution in helping someone go to school. So as soon as you reach out, I really, truly do believe that we can put some of these fears that you have around the shortage of staffing behind us in 2022. Now, the sooner you reach out, the sooner I can have a graduate for you. If you call me in 10 months and say you have an interest, great. 10 months from then, I'll have a graduate for you. So let's get going on it now. The sense of urgency is really critical here if you want to make a difference to your staffing in 2022.
So it's a 10-month program, essentially, right?
Correct.
Fair enough. And Henry, we're going to give people contact information, how to reach out to you and learn more about your program with this production. Just let me thank you for coming and talking about this exciting collaboration, and we look forward to touching base with you and with the Nova Scotia Dental Association on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, John, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about our program. And I look forward to, in a year from now, hopefully this particular video has resonated well with your audience. And in a year from now, I come back on and we're talking about the hundreds of graduates that are now working as dental assistants across the country. So we'll be able to relate it back to this video and say, we made a difference for the college. We made a difference for the students that went to that particular program and that college. And also, most importantly, those dental offices that were short of staff and no longer a year from now have that same problem.
What a great thought for 2020.